Welcome to the Team Real World radio show on 107.3 FM.
WBRP.
My name is Maurice Velasquez, and
I'm John Shirk.
And we are
Team Real World.
It's great to be with you guys once again. Thank you for joining us. This radio show is where we discuss all things business, management, leadership, and team dynamics. And every once in a while, we get off on computer stuff, computer training.
That's right.
Our slogan is real simple: real problems,
Real solutions,
and
really fun.
Our website is www.teamrealworld.com, and our phone number is 225-772-4357. You can also find us on Facebook. Simply type in Team Real World. Today we have a great show.
Yes, we do.
We're very excited about it. Of course, we say that in every single one of our shows because we're very excited about our shows.
That's true. Yeah.
It's good to be with you guys. And today we are going to be talking about what we get this request a lot.
We do. We really do. We
really do. Not that we don't when we tell you the other ones.
Yeah.
But we really get this a lot.
This topic.
It's up there with time management.
Yep.
It's up there with man, how can you guys help us fix this whole issue of going to meetings and things just don't go anywhere?
Mm-hmm.
You know, this one is way up there. Okay.
Yep.
It is titled Professionalism.
Oh, Maurice, are you serious? We really have to talk about professionalism?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
All right, so I guess we should get started talking about professionalism.
Yeah, so it's gonna be boring, right?
That's right. Yawning already. Everybody's kind of concerned about, this must mean I got to buy new clothes.
Yeah.
I got to get a different haircut.
It's not. Listen, we're going to be touching on some great practical stuff that we hope you guys pretty much in the world that you live in, you guys are going to see some of these behaviors. You guys are probably done these behaviors.
Yeah.
We're all guilty of them.
Yeah.
And so we hope to make this fun, engaging, and we would tell you to call into the radio show, but this is pre-recorded. So we'll get there. We'll get there.
And at some point during this show, I will tell you the story of the most unprofessional moment I've ever seen.
Speaking a new language.
See, that right there. That was just so unprofessional. I mean, sorry, guys. I tripped over one of the buttons over here. Sorry, producers are rolling their eyes at me. Anyway, you were telling the story.
Yeah, no, I can. At some point in the show, I'll tell the story of the most unprofessional moment I've ever seen in a business meeting. And I'll tell you this. It involves a taser.
A taser. Wow.
It's coming up.
See, now you write that down because I can't let you forget that.
Oh, no.
All right,
I'll tell
it. There's a whole slew of stuff we're going to talk about. It's really, really great. So
when we get into professionalism, there's certain things that people will do or say or hey, Mo, is that your phone?
Yeah, hold on. I got to take this.
You got to take this.
Yeah, hold on. All right.
Hello?
Hello?
We're doing a radio show.
I know. Just let me. Hello? Yeah.
Hey, Mo?
Yeah.
Can you do that later?
Yeah, I'm on the phone. Well, listen, can I text you? Okay, yeah, I'll text you. Thanks. All right. Go ahead, John. Keep going. I'll text you.
Yeah, so what we're going to talk today about is professionalism, especially in a business meeting, and certain behaviors that are certainly unprofessional.
Okay, I got that.
Like being in the middle of a meeting while someone else has got the floor and you take a phone call and just go ahead and
finished with that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, yeah.
Oh, no, we're just going to talk about professionalism. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
right.
professionalism.
Oh,
Yeah. A lot of times you won't be able to tell your own your skill gaps in professionalism. But don't worry, others aren't noticing it either.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I didn't notice what just happened. No, not me.
How many? I mean, John, I'm bad at that.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Okay.
That's true.
And I really think that others aren't seeing it.
Yeah. Well, what makes me laugh is because we help people learn to do great business meetings, we're in lots of meetings watching these behaviors.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't tell you how many times I've seen guys think they're in the middle of a room around a table, their phone rings, and they think if they turn sideways a little bit and just kind of go, they answer the phone and they just kind of go, yeah, like they're speaking real staccato. Like nobody's going to actually notice they're talking on the phone during a freaking meeting.
And then they realize, okay, that was kind of rude. I'm just going to make it silent. I'm going to start texting, and it's perfectly normal behavior to be staring at my lap all the time.
That's right.
Because, nobody can tell you're staring down at your legs every 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, we can tell you're not engaged.
Yeah.
I can see that you're not, and then when you get caught, you go, hey, and then you say something like, "Oh, okay, yeah, let me just finish this one real quick." No, no, I don't.
I'll tell you what. I'll go outside and call you so we can have this conversation. Is that okay?
All right. Listen, you finish your text message. I'll finish my cigarette right now.
That's right.
How about that one?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I was once in a meeting. Okay, I was once in a meeting where somebody else picked up their cell phone and texted me and said, "Put the phone up." I texted back and I said, "This is a boring meeting." So
I was in a meeting.
That is way up there. There's probably no behavior more unprofessional nowadays than thinking that it's perfectly acceptable for you to be talking to somebody, having an eyeball to eyeball conversation, and then say, "I'm about to disengage. Watch." I mean, just watch me disengage. I'm about to put this digital thing in front of my face, and I'm going to basically cut you off because what's happening on the phone is more important than what's happening in real. I mean, John, I honestly do that to people like 3 times a day.
Oh, yeah. I was in a meeting recently where I stood outside the meeting just before it started, and there was a common offender of this answer the phone during the meeting in the meeting, not step out and answer, but like answer in the room during the meeting.
Right.
And the owner of the company pulled this guy aside and he said, "If you answer the phone during this meeting, I'm not paying for your phone anymore." You got it?
Oh yeah.
And he goes, "Okay." 10 minutes into the meeting, his phone is on the table, and you hear the buzz.
That's hilarious.
And he looks up at the owner. The owner looks at him. And, I almost couldn't restrain myself. I just want to lay on the floor and laugh. It was such a funny moment.
Listen, I just wanted you. I sent you a text message right now. You're getting too carried away in this segment. Okay, we're back to it. All right, let's move on to another great. This one comes from a video, a clip from one of our favorite movies. Okay,
yes.
Of course. It's The Godfather.
Oh.
Okay, and yes, if you want to complain to us that we overuse The Godfather, we'd basically say, hey, make us an offer we can't refuse, and we'll change. But, it's like every 8 minutes in The Godfather, there is a business life principle. Let's just get away from life principle. There's a business principle.
That's right.
Excellent. All right. Well, here is what we consider to be the number one. Okay, we just said the cell phone because it's so popular.
Right.
But this one's huge. Would you not say?
Oh,
this is a clip from The Godfather. And of course, you guys that are familiar with it. This is when Sonny and the whole crew of leaders, the sons of the family are deciding what they're going to do because their father, the Godfather, just got shot. So they're wanting to take revenge and they want to kill a cop.
Yeah.
So of course they tell him, "Oh, what do you think?" They laugh at him. So where we're going to pick up on the clip is when they're laughing at Michael for recommending that they shoot a cop.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
So here's a clip from The Godfather.
You're taking this very personal. Tom, this is business, and this man is taking it very, very personal.
Where does it say that you can't kill a cop?
Come on, Mikey.
Tom, wait a minute. I'm talking about a cop that's mixed up in drugs. I'm talking about a dishonest cop. A crooked cop who got mixed up in the rackets and got what was coming to him. That's a terrific story. And we have newspaper people on the payroll, don't we, Tom? They might like a story like that.
They might. They just might.
It's not personal, Sonny. It's strictly business.
I love that. That's an awesome clip. And look, if you want to learn how to talk like Michael Corleone in that scene, stick a bunch of paper like I just did in my mouth, and you can actually just pause and say, "Sonny, it's not personal. It's strictly business." All right, I got to take this out of my mouth. This is
all
right. When we come back on this finish, because we're about to take a break from the segment, okay? There is probably no single most principle that keeps people from becoming the professionals they need to be if they don't get over this one factor.
Yeah.
They take things way too personally.
That's it. We
what does it mean to be professional and not personal? It's the ability. It's to basically take a problem. Let's say I say to you, hey, John, we need to take a break from this segment. It says, well, hey, don't interrupt me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's the major problem that happens is you take an objective issue and it becomes personal. Okay? Why? Because you're not letting me rule the world.
That's right.
How about a good segment?
That's right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Huh? I knew what song was coming up.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so when we come back for the next segment, we'll delve more into what it means to be professional and not professional because you're taking things way too personally. You're listening to Team Real World Talk 107.3 FM.
WBRP.
Well, it's all right. Riding around in the breeze. Well, it's all right. If you live the life you please. Well, it's all right. Doing the best you can. Well, it's all right. As long as you lend a hand.
Welcome back to the Team Real World Radio Show where we discuss real problems, real solutions, and we make it
Really fun.
Our website is www.teamrealworld.com, and our phone number is 225-772-4357. You're listening to Talk 107.3 FM.
WBRP.
All right, let's continue with our topic.
Yes.
Professional versus personal.
This dynamic is really an interesting one to me because I struggled with it early in my career.
Because you take everything
Well,
personal.
here's the thing. Here's the word.
See, we were talking about the issue, and no, John has to turn it to his career. I mean, it's like, okay, fine. Make it personal.
When I was younger, I put a very, and I still do in different ways, but I put a very, very high value on being authentic. I'm being the real me. I'm not fake. I'm real. And I thought what that meant was,
You don't want
no
the
matter
real me.
what the setting is, I have to just be exactly whatever I am.
Right.
It took time for me to learn that it is okay, and in fact, a good and an appropriate thing to be a professional, which is kind of a different person in a professional setting, and
Right.
to put on a professional face.
Right.
I used to think that was a negative thing, but in fact, it's
It
a
really
very
is,
positive
It
thing.
really is a positive thing. Being professional has nothing to do with being stoic,
Good
with being
point.
stuffy,
Good point.
with being serious and somber.
That's
okay,
right.
there is a difference between professional laughter and goof-off laughter.
Yep.
Okay, and that's not something we can simply talk about here on the radio or even in person and say, here's that fine line, and it's not that black and white.
Yep.
Everybody knows. Well, I can say that when they're crossing the line, it's just not everybody's good at calling the line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we want to make sure we first clarify that that's not what it means not to be professional.
Yep.
Okay. But what it usually does mean is that you take an issue and you make it about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or you take a problem and you make it about yourself.
Yes.
Or you take an idea or a solution and you make it about you.
In other words, if Maurice was a director of marketing somewhere and I said, I don't like this marketing idea, Maurice, if he was being in an unprofessional space, would say, you're attacking me.
Correct.
As opposed to, well, we're discussing this idea that is just part of this work problem.
Correct. And so sometimes the best gauge or the best people to gauge whether you're taking it personally is not yourself.
True.
Okay. So because we often refer to movies, watch how many movies, especially crime, police, somebody gets shot and that person is a friend of one of the main characters, and that main character goes on a rampage to try to get back to the bad guys.
Right.
And everybody around him starts telling him, man, you're taking this too personally. You got to remove yourself from it. And the rest of the movie spent about how, no, I'm doing the right thing. And everybody's telling him, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You know, and really the people around them are being very good at letting that person know you are taking this personally. It's become a thing of revenge.
Yep.
Now, and usually the response is, no, we still have to get the bad guys. See, that's a good defense.
Yeah.
No, I'm not taking it personally. I'm still trying to do the right thing.
I'm just getting the results.
Yeah, but no, everybody around you knows. They can tell you're taking it personally.
Right.
It's you have changed hats from being someone that is dealing with the issue in an objective business reasons, and now you've brought your emotions into it to where it has to be about what you want.
Yes.
And that has many negative consequences. Usually, the biggest consequence to that is that thing that you're trying to do is what is making others not want to buy in, because it's no longer about the issue. Mm-hmm. It's no longer about the idea. It's about the issue and you.
Yep.
It's about the idea and your emotions. And that's probably the hardest thing professionally that I've had to learn. That I've got to be able to deal with issues, take criticism, wrestle through problems, and not make it personal. That means you got to bring your emotions under check.
Right.
And when you let your emotions get out of check, that is exactly when you're showing to everybody that you are indeed take it personally.
Yeah.
Okay. Every time I lose control, every time I get upset, every time I raise my voice, every time others around me can tell, Maurice is losing it. That is exactly the point in which I am going from professional behavior to personal. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
Yeah. For me, what was sort of the aha for my own way, I don't tend to heat up and increase volume sort of in meetings. I struggled for years with somebody else did that, feeling like I was suddenly 5 years old on the inside.
Right.
And like I was looking up at some authority figure and I was being chewed out and scolded instead of saying, we're having a conversation about work product. We're not having a conversation about whether or not I'm an okay person.
Right.
That's a totally different topic. Whether you're an okay person might address the issue of business ethics, but the business climate, business environment, that's about competence and about production and about
results.
Teamwork
and results.
Exactly.
And the other way that it manifests itself are those personalities that show that same level of professionalism, but from a passive aggressive side. I'm not going to show emotions. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to scream. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to stare.
Yeah.
And with my body language, I'm letting you know that I'm yelling at you. Can't you hear me yell at you? And everybody in the room knows you're upset. So you have the two extremes, those that externalize their emotions and those that externalize their attempt at not showing their emotions.
That's right.
And so we have another clip, by the way. We got to get the other clip prepared, okay? But let's go ahead. Finish your thought.
Well, there's all kinds of micro behaviors like that show up that are unprofessional behaviors, like eye rolling.
Yes.
Very sarcastic responses, and then saying, just kidding.
Yeah. No, I'm fine.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I'm fine. I'm good.
Exactly.
And again, the stare, and then somebody challenges you. No, I was just listening.
And with the implication that you go ahead and decide whatever you want to decide, but when we're done, I might sabotage it, but you definitely can't count on my buy-in.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to act like,
this clip from another movie, this one is from, this is Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks.
Oh, yes.
From
You've Got Mail.
You've Got Mail.
Yep.
In which, of course, he's taken over the business. He's taken over the market, and he's running her out of business. But, he didn't know that it was her.
Right.
And, of course, they have this discussion of when Tom Hanks makes the mistake of saying, look, it wasn't personal, and she reacts to it. And what's cool about this clip is she says what we all really think about this whole issue of personal and professional.
Right.
Is it ready? All right, here we go. Here's Meg Ryan and Tom. Oh, he should have never said this. Here he goes. Here it is.
It wasn't personal.
What is that supposed to be? I'm so sick of that. All that means is that it wasn't personal to you, but it was personal to me. It's personal to a lot of people. I mean, what is so wrong with being personal anyway?
Nothing.
Because whatever else anything is, it ought to begin by being personal.
Wow.
Very interesting scene.
If anything, it ought to be again with personal.
Yep.
So I love the movie. She couldn't be any more wrong.
Yeah.
and if you, as you watch the movie and you get to the end, you realize she has to overcome the fact that it really wasn't personal.
Yeah.
If you can tell that someone is attacking you, just be careful.
Yep.
Because oftentimes you may be misreading it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You may just be misreading it entirely. So in order to become more professional, you have to move away from taking things personally. That's the first thing we're emphasizing here.
Yep,
Okay.
that's right.
All right. Here's another one. All right. And this catches everybody. Here's another clip we're going to play from The Godfather here soon. But this is basically what we're going to call bad news first. Okay. It's a clip in which Tom Harkin. Gosh, I can't believe I forgot his name. the Robert Duvall character, he's been given bad news because the producer won't take one of his offers.
Yes.
And so he yells him and screams at him, and you guys remember the scene where he tells him to get the heck out of here and go tell that boss of yours that I heard about the band leader, and he really chews him out.
Yeah.
And Robert Duvall kind of looks at him and he tells him this right here. Okay.
Tell him I ain't no band leader. Yeah, I heard that story.
Thank you for the dinner and a very pleasant evening. Maybe your car could take me to the airport. Mr. Corleone is a man who insists on hearing bad news immediately.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Bad news immediately. It's a trap, John, that we think that if we just withhold bad news from others that should know about it, that we're actually helping the problem.
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah.
other than, of course, the cell phone, and other than taking things personally, this is the one trap that catches everybody.
Yep.
You hear bad news, you know you need to tell somebody about it, and you, for whatever reason, and there's about 500 reasons,
Oh, yeah.
you choose to not tell others the bad news.
Yep. Yeah, like if I'm the co-pilot on the jet, it's a really good thing if I speak up that we're running out of gas.
Right.
It'd be a really good thing if I
Right.
said something. But
Or the fact that, we overdid how much we talked in this segment, and the bad news is we got to take a break now.
That's right.
Okay. We'll come back on the back end of this segment, in segment number 3, and we'll delve a little bit more into this. But keep that in mind, okay? Bad news immediately. You're listening to Team Real World on Talk 107.3 FM.
WBRP.
Got this in pocket. Gunpowder. I'm gonna use it. Intention. I'm feeling mental. Gonna make you notice. Got motion. Restored emotion. I've been
Welcome back to the Team Real World Radio Show. You're listening to Talk 107.3 FM,
WBRP.
where we discuss real problems, real solutions, and we make it
Really fun.
We're talking this show about professionalism. And that is exactly what John does not show in the middle of the segments. When we start queuing up these songs, you guys should just see him. You guys should see him dance, or at least make an attempt. That is just so.
Sometimes you
it's
just gotta
so
shake your groove
It's just
thing.
so unprofessional.
Yeah, well.
Thankfully, we're not on television. Okay, these are radio faces. Anyway, good to have you guys back. It's a pleasure to be with you. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying the show.
Yes.
We are discussing professionalism, and if you recall, we've already talked about 3 major planks, foundational concepts, strategies that we would say, please do these, and they should help you out in many areas. Number 1, watch out with that phone.
Yep.
And if you're texting, I just have to do this. The ad council called us and said to please tell everybody, don't text while you drive.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's not only not professional, it's kind of dumb.
Yeah, I heard somebody this week say that use of cell phone in vehicles is causing more deaths now than alcohol.
Yeah, and I'm bad at it as well. I'm doing it a lot less. I mean, I've cut it down. It's just not worth it. So the phones, we've just lost a sense of ourselves. In business meetings, it's kind of like Seinfeld one time said. It would be like in the 80s. All of a sudden, you're having a conversation with somebody, and right in the middle of the conversation, they pull out a book and they start reading.
Yeah.
How disrespectful is that? So
Yeah.
no, the phone. Watch out with the phones. Number 2, professionalism. It means don't take it personally.
Right.
Okay. We talked a lot about don't personalize it.
Right.
And the third that we talked about was bad news first. Let's spend just a couple minutes on that.
Sure. Yeah. That the idea of making bad news first, that does not mean at the first sign of fire you run through the theater shouting fire.
Yes. Thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah.
And sometimes you shouldn't call the boss saying, "Hey, guess what happened?" And then the boss goes, "Well, just fix it."
Yeah,
That's not
right.
what we're talking about.
Right.
What we're talking about is when you should have said something.
Right.
You know,
Right.
when you should have told the boss.
Yeah.
You know, and you will only learn that. Okay, here's probably what helped me the most. You will only learn when you should and you shouldn't by messing up.
Oh, yeah.
When the
Yeah.
people around you are saying stuff like, well, you know, you could have told me that early. Oh, I see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This person wants a little bit more of an upfront about certain issues.
Yeah.
And we all have those issues, and we all have our degrees of expectation of when we're wanting to be told about certain things. And so whenever you tell folks, well, you know, you could have told me about that earlier, you're letting them know that, look, I want to be told about bad news in this degree on these topics.
Right.
But don't take either extreme. I think what you're saying is don't take the extreme of yelling fire about everything.
Right.
And the other extreme that I'm encouraging is don't withhold it too long. It's just you've
Right.
got to be willing to recognize that your peers, your staff, your supervisors, and your executives, they all want to be told up front about certain things. And it's your job as a professional to know what those are.
Well, let me give it to you this way here. If you've got that kind of bad news that needs to be communicated somehow, make sure you're aware of these three things. What in this is the data?
What is it? Good?
What in this is your emotion?
Oh, that's good, John.
And
Yes,
what
that's
in
right,
this
that's
is
right,
your
that's right,
judgment?
That's right. Let's go through those again.
What in this is the data of the situation?
The facts.
What are the facts?
In other words, if I call you and I say, hey, John, I got to tell you about something, and it's bad news, you're saying focus on recognizing that there's an element of that it should be facts.
Right.
And say, I'm going to tell you just the facts right now, not my opinion.
Right.
Right? Okay, that's
Exactly.
the first one.
That's
So
the first
data.
one.
Data.
The second one is, what is my emotional part of this?
Okay, so now that I've told you the facts or the data, John, let me tell you what I'm feeling about this.
Right.
Right?
And that's the feeling
Okay.
is things like angry, afraid.
Yeah, I'm upset about this.
Not I feel like so and so's a jerk.
No, it's I feel bad about this. I feel sad. I feel nervous. I feel like we ought to do this. But usually say that I feel this.
Exactly.
Here's the data, and here's how I feel about it.
Right.
Okay. What's the other part?
And then what is my judgment about
Okay,
it, or
good,
my assessment?
Good. How would that? What would that sound like?
Well, let's just take a real mundane example. If I have somebody who's calling me too many times during the day,
Okay.
I could say, Susie calls me all the time, and it's driving me crazy.
Okay. See, now that's a judgment.
Right.
No, is that judgment?
There's no data.
There's no data.
There's emotion in there, unexpressed.
All right.
And then it's all judgment that she calls me, quote, all the time.
All right.
How
so,
much?
so
if she
in-
calls
in-
me 6 times a day, that's data.
So in order for me to be professional, whenever I'm complaining or whenever I'm articulating bad news, is learn to articulate your gripe
Right.
or your upsetness by breaking it down into the data,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
The emotions,
Yep.
and the judgment.
The judgment.
So what you're saying is leave the judge. I don't know. Are you saying don't do the judgment,
no.
or
No,
just
I'd say include it.
clarify that you
Include it.
let the other person know
Yeah.
that you're making a judgment,
Right.
but that you're actually making a judgment?
Right.
Don't.
Because it could be that you talk to your boss at work, and they want Susie talking to you 8 times a day.
Got it. So basically, I could call you up and I'd say, "Hey, man, look, I cannot believe Susie.
Yeah.
I mean, she's driving. She's crazy. But then again, that's my judgment.
Yeah.
In other words,
That's
say
right.
that.
That's right.
All right. So look, let me tell you what's going on. Average, I think I can count 7 times by noon. She's calling me about certain issues. See, now I'm trying to appeal to data.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then I'm going to make a what? What's the second one? First is data.
Data, and then the emotion. What are my emotions about it? Because the
this
thing
is obviously
if you,
upsetting me.
Right.
Okay,
if you
good,
have
good.
strong emotions, they're
Good.
showing. So you might as well not pretend.
Good. All right. Those are very good. Those are very good. Three keys
And
on how to communicate.
I'll add one
that
last
news.
piece at the
Okay?
end. Because when there's a difficult situation, sometimes the question is then, okay, who's going to do something about it? If you are proposing that you're going to do something about it, add the fourth one to the end, which is, here's what I want to do.
Okay, so if you're on the receiving side of somebody giving you bad news, you could help them by saying, okay, good, I hear you. Let me ask you this. Right now, it sounds like you're making a judgment. I'm not saying it's a wrong judgment, but let's do this. Shift it more into the data part. Give me some data.
Right.
Give me some facts.
Right, exactly.
Not coach, but facilitate the person.
Right.
Then say, okay, I hear the facts. All right, so you're obviously upset, right? Tell me a little bit about that. In other words, let that come out. All right,
Yep.
good. So let me ask you, what do you want to do about it?
Yep. Well,
Is
what's your assessment of the situation?
Yeah.
See, what this
Right.
is too much, or this is off track,
That's
or
really good.
whatever.
That's
and
really
then
good.
by saying, here's what for the person reporting up, here's what I want to do about it. It's a way of opening the conversation that says, you need to know about this, boss, but I'm going to take care of it as long as it's okay with you. So
That's
here's
really
what
good.
I want to do.
That's really good. It's very
What's
helpful.
the data, feelings, judgment, and wants?
I like your coaching.
Well,
I need to go to Team Real World.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
See, you guys just stepped into a commercial. Anyway, this is what we do all day.
Yeah.
We help executives.
Yep.
We help managers basically flesh this out and work on doing this every week.
Yep.
Get everybody into rhythm to have these discussions. Let's do a little bit of self-advertisement.
Sure.
Okay.
Go for it.
We have workshops. We have training classes. We like to call them workshops. In our public calendar, open enrollment calendar, go to www.teamrealworld.com and click on calendar. You'll find all types of professional workshops, professional skills workshops, soft skills, rhythm, sales training, mastery programs, as well as computer training. Coming up next week, we have a sales manager and a sales rep training class.
Yep.
And then the week after that, on the 21st, and then the week after that, we have the management excellence program. So just go to our website, look at it, download the PDF. And call us. Let us know. Let us tailor some of those workshops for you.
And hey, if you come out and you don't feel like it's worth the money, we'll be happy to refund you. Although I'll tell you, we offer that all the time, and it's never happened.
That's right. That's right. And if you come free, if you come complimentary to test us out, we'll refund that too. All right. So we really good segment. I like. Okay. What we're going to do on the back end when we come back from segment 4, we've given you some basic fundamentals about how to be professional. Now on the back end, we're going to finish off with some 5 practical ways on how to apply it.
And the story of when the taser came out in the business
I don't know
meeting.
that you want to hear that
Stay
one.
tuned.
Oh, I don't know that you want to tell that one. Are you going to tell that one?
I'll tell it.
Oh, man. I don't know if that's very professional.
Well,
All right, don't forget, put those phones up when you're not supposed to put them up. Finish on time like I just went over my bumper music, which makes you forget the other ones. Put those phones up, be professional, take it personally, and bad news first. You're listening to Talk 107.3 FM.
WBRP.
Welcome back to the Team Real World Radio Show. Man, it's hard to talk over that song.
I know.
man.
I just want to sing the song.
I know. What in the world does take on me mean?
I don't know, but I still want to sing it.
It just makes me want to draw in pencil.
Yeah. Kind of slam around the studio.
I know.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Team Real World Radio Show on Talk 107.3 FM.
WBRP.
If you have no idea what we're talking about, pencil, Take On Me, well, just go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Go look at Take On Me
video.
and you'll see it. I think it was voted at some point as one of the best videos.
Wow, I believe it.
Yeah, but then again, I have no data. It's just my judgment.
There you go.
Anyway. All right,
strong
you're
feelings
listening
about
to Team
it.
Real World Radio Show. Good to have you guys back. This is our last segment. We hope you guys have enjoyed it. We hope you've taken some great stuff out of it. We're going to cover 5 tactics. We set the foundation. We're going to set 5 tactics, and then we'll finish off and greet you guys and wish you off until next week.
That's right.
All right. So now that we've covered those basic foundations, let's talk about these key tactics. Tactic number 1, how to become more professional.
Number 1 is be an emotional adult.
Aw.
Yeah, sorry, Maurice.
I don't want to be an emotional adult. Oh, well, no, I get to be an emotional
That's
adult.
right.
What do you mean, an emotional adult? What does that mean?
An emotional adult is somebody who is at peace with themselves. They're sort of more centered. They're not looking to get their personal social needs met from clients and from their work environment only. They trust themselves. They maintain a positive and a solution-centered stance as opposed to going, kind of somebody help me. I have all the problems, and the real mission of this organization should be to support me.
Practice not reacting from a victim approach.
Exactly.
Is that
exactly?
a good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because an emotional adult can assess a situation, and then make decisions about what's going to happen.
That's very good.
A child who has a baby doll and the head pops off reacts exactly the same way as if the house is on fire. A child does not have the ability to discern the difference. Adults do.
Have you been talking to my wife? Did she call in or something?
Did your baby doll head pop off, Maurice?
No, but everything's always on fire. And everything is always top priority. What's wrong with that?
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
Well, all I'm saying is that in order to maintain a professional demeanor.
Let's go to number 2.
Go to
All right.
number 2.
What is key tactic number 2, John?
Key tactic number 2 is to just be reliable. Be reliable. If you say, I'll be here at 3 o'clock, I'll be here at 3 o'clock. If you say, I'll get this to you by Friday, get it to you by Friday.
Okay. All right. Whenever I participated in the discussion about having this conversation of being professional, okay, I didn't mean for it to be that professional. This is getting very personal now. Yeah. You're talking about me. I mean, all right, go ahead. Keep explaining it.
So
what does reliable mean?
Some of what that means is how you act, not just act, but how you participate in and respond to meetings. If you have let's just take meetings for example. Do you go to meetings, and if you're running the meeting, do you confirm the purpose of the meeting?
Wow.
Do you have an agenda for the meeting? Do you take notes, or does someone take notes in the meeting? Is there a summary at the end of the meeting? Do notes go out after the meeting? Is there clear follow-up after the meeting? Is there, at the next meeting, a clear connection to the previous meeting that follow-up has happened?
So bottom line, what you say, do what you say you would do.
Exactly. This gets too much conversation as though it is a moral issue.
Yeah, so
and not
I'm
enough as a professional issue.
I'm going to say this. For all of you folks out there that have taken the DISC survey and your DISC profile is similar to mine, meaning you're a high I, this is probably your Achilles heel. You overpromise, you overcommit, you tackle on all sorts of projects, you say yes to everything and don't do anything.
Yeah,
and your follow through is horrendous.
Yeah, that would be challenge.
Yeah. That's probably one of the biggest challenges of I personalities.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
The D's, they tend to just go do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Even more than what they promise.
Yeah.
The S's and C's are more cautious about what they promise.
Yeah.
And they tend to focus on what they promised.
Right.
The I's are, they tend to be, because they're so gregarious and they want to advance so many ideas.
Yeah.
They mean well,
They
tremendously well, because they want to really advance a lot of people's ideas and not just their own. But they're not organized sufficiently enough to write things down and make sure that I promise that by Thursday.
And I'll say that I's are much happier than the other three. I mean, in moment to moment, much happier than the other three personalities.
Yeah.
And it creates an idealizing that happens in the moment of making a decision.
They're more happy by denying the fact that I never promised that. Let's go to number 3. All right. That's good. Hey, reliable. That's a good one, John. Number 3.
We kind of touched on this one. Number 3 is be centered, but that's what we talked about earlier. Like, don't allow your emotions to suddenly be the most important thing in a topic or in a situation or in a course of follow-through or in a project.
And so if you're an extrovert, watch out with the emotions coming out.
Right.
If you're an introvert, watch out with the stares.
Yeah.
Is that a good practical way?
Okay. Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, very good. Number 4.
Number 4 is an interesting one. It is be worthy of respect.
Wow.
Then, don't miss the second part. Be worthy of respect, then require it.
Okay, so basically what you just said is require respect, right?
Yep.
And don't be worthy of it.
No.
That's exactly what you just said. You just said require respect and don't be worthy of it.
No. What I said was be worthy of respect, then require.
That doesn't work.
That doesn't work?
No. Takes too long. It's easier to walk around saying, hey, I'm the boss.
Yeah.
So there you go. It takes way too long for me to earn respect. It's a lot easier to just simply remind everybody that, hey, what I say goes around here.
Yep.
And so if you walk, you're talking about walking with not only saying it, but having that attitude.
Well, one of these by themselves is a common source of unprofessionalism.
Yeah.
Someone who is worthy of respect, but they allow people to just walk all over them, will not stand up.
All right, so you often say this whenever we talk to we're coaching or in the workshops. You usually say this one concept that fits perfect into this whole issue of respect. What is that?
Professionalism. Well, let me say, professional relationships are a set of negotiated agreements. Period.
See, if we had a soundtrack, there would be a clap. Yay! Yeah. That is phenomenal. The fact that adults, professionals, are expecting others to do their part while I do my part. That's what Steve Jobs said, trust. Trust really is the ability to trust that you're going to come through and do your part.
Yep.
And yet I will do my part, and we're going to agree together that we're going to do certain things and then come back in the middle and say, how did we do?
That's right.
It's a negotiated type of arrangement. Is that that's what you're saying?
Exactly.
That's professionalism.
See, and this is
if it's
different.
one-sided, it's not professional. Is that correct?
Correct. That's a parent-to-child relationship.
Ah.
A one-sided relationship, a parent is very committed, and a child is just there, and it's sort of going to go okay as long as the parent stays committed.
Right.
But the child's commitment is not really part of the equation. So
That's good.
Yeah,
that's very good.
That's the gist of that one. That's the gist of that.
See, I want to go into number 5 because number 5 is really good, but that one is tough.
Oh, yeah.
That one is tough because we all, at all different levels, all different personalities, we're trying to push our ideas. And we're trying to say, I want you to do this, so I'm going to go do this, but I'm not asking you to commit to the next step with me.
Right.
So I'll go do A, B, C, and then I'll come back and do this for you. And all the other person said was, yeah, sure. When they really didn't.
Right.
Then you come and you try to propose it back, only to find that person now completely deny the fact that they were ever interested in the first place. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes.
And then, of course,
yes.
I take it personally because I've wasted time on this. When you said, if I do this, then you'll pay attention to it, but you never really did.
Right.
Because I offered a unilateral, one-sided relationship agreement about that issue. Is that what you, I mean,
That's
do you see a
exactly right.
trap in that a lot?
Oh, absolutely.
It happens all the time,
Oh, yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Here's another version of it. Here's a meeting. Someone's very excited about an issue. They say, we should do this. Don't you think so? And they kind of go, oh, sure, okay.
Sure. No real
And
buy-in.
No real buy-in, but what they said was, yeah, sure. And so on some level, a negotiated agreement has just happened.
Okay.
But there's no intent to actually buy in and do it.
Sales reps, hear me. This is probably one of your greatest faults. You set up meetings when the other person didn't buy into it.
Oh.
And you're teaching your prospects
So
to
true.
not respect you.
So true.
Right?
So
As opposed
true.
to setting proper meetings up front, getting that respect and saying, you know what, I'm not saying this, but I'm only going to show up if you're going to be there.
Right.
And then get there and really express it. Wait, what happened? We had a meeting. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be very professional about it.
That's right.
Let's move on to number 5 because we're coming up close to the end of our program.
Yeah.
Number 5 is what?
Produce results. Just get it done.
Oh, I didn't know you were going to say that.
There's something unprofessional.
I am totally
about
not in
repeatedly-
favor of this. This is so anti-Maurice. What is the matter with you?
At some point, if there's typos on the notes, if whatever else happens, at some point, at the end of the day, if you didn't produce what needed to be produced, it's unprofessional behavior. Period.
But I tried, John.
Oh,
I tried.
and there is a gold star waiting for the person who tried hard, but it doesn't mean it's professional.
Oh,
that's right.
Wow. All right.
Yep.
So some closing thoughts.
Yep. Well, lastly, let me just tell you this: if you combine what you love to do with solving real problems, clients' real problems, and real legitimate professionalism, no one can stop you from succeeding. Nobody.
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 I bet I can.
Nuh-uh.
I bet I can.
You know, I didn't tell my taser story.
Oh no! We forgot. That is so unprofessional.
I
You
know.
did not do
I
what
know.
you said you were
I
going to do.
know.
Can you believe this?
Taser came out in a business meeting.
Oh.
And we'll tell you
see,
next time.
We'll tell you next
time.
I cannot
I
believe
know.
you did this,
It's
John.
embarrassing.
You need to go to Team Real World and take some professional
I
workshops.
know. I didn't put it on my docket.
You've been listening to Talk 107. I am so embarrassed. 0.3 FM. Did you really-
WBRP.
You forgot to tell the story. Oh.